Welcome to the Verses of Life, where military resilience meets professional clarity and faith overcomes chaos. Get battle-tested wisdom with biblical insight to triumph through growth. Now for your host, Dr. Veronica Seitz.
Welcome to another episode of the Verses of Life. We guide a journey speaking life into things that may be very difficult. Things can be extremely traumatic, but there is always triumph. Today we're going to be talking about the power of choice. Because my friend, you are one decision away from a radically different life. Our guest today is Travis Johnson. He's a returning guest, so we want to say thank you for coming back. He's a retired naval officer, and we're going to get the rest of the story, or some of the rest of the story. Many times when we face adversities, it's very, very critical, mission critical, that we hear the other side, because you might be stuck in a trench, but my guests bring the voice of triumph into that space. So grab your tissues. A full disclosure and disclaimer, this is a very intense episode and it will hit close to home on some level for different people. But know this, there was always hope, and we speak life on the Verses of Life. Welcome, Travis.
I'm kind of wondering if this is like the episode for me or if I should come back.
Well,
oh, is it?
It's you. You're in the hot seat today.
We go. Yeah.
You're in the hot seat because you've got some good fodder.
It is a little bit warmer over here than last time.
It is. The lights are shining.
Yeah.
And I know the light's going to shine.
Yes,
you know?
absolutely.
You've been through some really, you've overcome many spaces of darkness. You have a strong foundation of faith. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I am oftentimes left without words, which is hard to believe, that I am left speechless with what you have faced, forward marched, overcome, and freely speak life into others. So we're going to start from, you had an extreme adverse child experience. The ACE.
Oh.
The ACE and
all 10.
All 10 of them.
All 10 on the ACEs, yeah.
All 10 on the ACEs. So from a very early age, your life was threatened. So tell us who, why, what, and how did you navigate that?
How did I navigate that? Mostly like this, just kind of, holding on for dear life. So for people that didn't catch the last episode, the quick down and dirty is 36 moves, 12 schools, 6 states, 5 different foster homes, 8 total. Both my mom and sister tried to kill me. I ended up homeless for about a month and a half. And it wasn't too bad. We were couch surfing at a friend's place, but like we didn't know where we were going to go.
Okay.
And when you look at kind of the dynamic of that, so my mom suffers from mental health concerns.
Okay.
Most prominently is bipolar disorder. And so our parents split, I think it was 3 when they broke up. And every time my mom needed treatment, we would end up living with grandma or with dad. I say we, my sister and I, or we'd end up in foster care. So there was a few times in there, kindergarten, 2nd grade, 4th grade, and 7th grade, where we were in 3 different schools during each of those school years. And it is rough, it is crazy, but there's some interesting things that I learned how to do that I wouldn't have been able to do if not for some of those scenarios.
Okay.
So one of those things is I saw the same thing being accomplished in many different ways because I was always around different people.
Okay.
Right.
Survival skills sounds like.
Right. So people are like, it's my way or the highway. And I'm like, I know 6 other ways to do this. Why would it be your way or the highway? Right. So you get some insight.
Savvy.
And this is, kind of pre-internet, 80s and 90s. So like, you can't just Google 6 ways to set a fence post.
Okay.
Right. You can't.
You're
can't
the data center. You're collecting
the data
data.
center. Your experiences, the people you interact with, time you spend in the library. That's what you know when there's not really anything else. So I get to see like these things be done, but done in many different ways. I also got to do. I learned to go to the library of a new school early. The first day, if I could go before school, great. within the first day or two, I would go and I'd pull a yearbook, I'd check out a yearbook, and I'd go through and learn everybody's faces and names.
Wow.
All the ladies first because,
Because
come on.
you had
come
an
on,
affinity
right?
towards that. So.
But you would learn all these people, so you're not just walking around a school with hundreds or thousands of people having no idea who people are. Even though you don't know them, you can be like, okay, this, okay, cool. Okay, so they're in football, got it, and you can kind of
You
build
really were
that
collecting.
map. Yeah,
But
well,
you were
have-
collecting data.
You
Okay.
have to,
Yeah.
right? So you're building this map of who all these people are. You don't know them, but you've seen their face, and you can kind of, so you can ease into new situations better. And all those moves and all that prep work prepped me for the military and the military moves.
I was just thinking, I mean, you
Yeah.
were sizing up situational awareness. I mean, you're just intel collecting. You're briefing yourself before you go into
All of
the new
those
mission
things.
field.
All of those things. And then later getting into public speaking in the conference space. Like in the conference, like I learn all the people.
Yeah.
They have like the speaker list beforehand, right? So I go through and I read and I look and I add them all on LinkedIn.
I've been on that end of it.
Yeah.
I know you were
like,
stalking
why
and
did we
chicken hawking.
why did you connect? I'm like, we're at the same conference, girl. We gotta like reach out.
Yeah.
And so then I would walk into a conference knowing a bunch of people already. So you're never really walking into an unfamiliar environment if you do the prep work,
Yeah.
right? So a couple of things that I learned in there, and another thing I learned is that no matter where you end up, there's always people that are going to care.
Yeah.
Right, you've got teachers, you've got school counselors, you've got guidance counselors, more in the court system, you've got guardian ad litems, you've got lawyers, you've got social services. They're not fun when they're in your life.
I can hear. I'm a foster. No, they're not.
They're not fun when they're in your life, but they do care, and they are trying to make the situation better, even when it's painful sometimes. So there's a lot of good in there. There's a lot of bad in there, right? In and out of hospitals. You didn't pay your rent while you're in the hospital, and we were living somewhere else. When they get out, like, oh, we're going to a new place, and you end up there, and you get sick again. And
Yeah.
goes back to the hospital. We live somewhere else, didn't pay the rent there, so we go to a new place. So, like 36 times before graduating at 17, that's more than 2 a year
Yeah.
on average. Some years it was like 7.
Were you changing schools all those times too?
A few times, yeah.
Wow.
A few times.
Yeah.
But it's the 80s and 90s, so when you moved, you didn't just move, you lost all your friends.
Yeah.
You didn't have their addresses. You were a kid, you didn't have an address book. There was no Facebook.
Yeah.
You didn't have numbers saved in your phone because it didn't exist.
Right.
And then long distance calls, this is the late 1900s, I know, but long distance calls,
Yeah.
right? You had to dial at 1010 220 and then one in the number to try to save 10 cents on your phone call per minute.
Or reverse collect call.
A collect
Hope they
call. Oh, the life hack, right? The
Yeah.
collect call. Do you accept a collect call from, hey, I'm done at the roller skating rink, pick me up? And then would you like to, and that's what they hear, and
Been
then
there,
no call
done that.
goes through, and then they come pick you up from the roller skating rink. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really showcasing my experience over here.
Yeah.
But then you do end up in a lot of situations where, especially with mental health concerns, in bipolar, there's a thing that some people know about. First off, someone going through like a manic episode, there's no faster way to ruin a relationship than being around somebody that's in a manic episode or in mania. There's delusions of grandeur, there's some hallucinations sometimes, and you're really prone to risky behavior. Think about that food that's like that dark secret, like whatever the dessert is maybe, or the something, and when you get around it, like you just really can't help yourself. You're like,
Chocolate.
I'm just gonna have chocolate,
Chocolate
right?
oblivion
I'm
for
just
me.
I'm just gonna have one. It's gonna be good. I'm a good person, and then you have 11, and you're like, I'm still a good person, but you can't stop eating. When those chemicals, as far as I understand it, when those chemicals are raging in your head, impulse control is really hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard to have any kind of filter or measure something against sanity. And the hardest part is that you feel so great. Mania
Yeah.
is this elevated state where you have energy, you can tackle any new project,
Yeah, it's euphoric.
and you think you can do anything, and you can, right up until you can't. And it's either you happen to be on a regimen and you have the right meds or your doctor's tweaking the meds. The other option is that the train goes off the rails and you end up in some kind of more official capacity.
Yeah.
Police get called, social services get called, someone has to come help rein you in,
Yeah.
and really hope that you haven't caused too much damage. So it's a really tough place to be in. And it's a tough thing to be around. As you imagine having a friend and not
Yeah.
knowing, and then they go nuts.
Yeah.
Legitimately go nuts. And it's the medical term for that. And
Travis's medical term.
this is Travis's DSM, the DSM
Yeah.
TJ.
TJ version.
This is TJ version. And it's really hard to be around, because how do you, as a friend or a family member or a colleague or an acquaintance, see something like that happening and be able to understand that it's not them doing it and making bad choices and just doing dumb things.
Yeah.
It's they really have no control.
Yet you had choices. You made
Right.
choices, and
Right.
look at where you are now. And my question is, was it a manic episode that threatened your life? You mentioned.
Yes.
You know,
So there's two questions there. So I have a sister who's within 18 months of me. So we're both in our early 40s now. I guess I'm probably in my mid 40s, but whatever. And I have done very well for myself. I joined the military, I have a family. We're getting ready to celebrate 25-year anniversary here in June. It's a
Yeah.
big deal. You know, my daughter's grown and married. I've got a granddaughter. My son's graduating high school this year. I've been able to retire, do good things. Got my VA up to 100, which is where we like it to be.
Yeah.
Got the retirement coming in. I have a successful business, and I have a lot of freedoms that I never thought I would have. My sister is not living the same life. If I was way over here on the spectrum, she would be in the far opposite.
Okay.
She found a way to self-medicate through her pain and not accept help along the way, and has done a lot of damage to her relationships, and she's not in a great place.
Sorry.
And it's a place of her own making. And there's a story that's told about a best friend that's a CEO, when he is asked to come to his dad's funeral. And at the funeral, he finds out that your friend's got a twin brother. And twin brother is struggling. He's an alcoholic. He's got a lot of problems. And you strike up a conversation with him. He says, how is this possible? You're an alcoholic. Like, what happened? He's like, well, you see, my dad was an alcoholic. I had no choice. And that doesn't make sense. So you ask your friend, like, why are you CEO? He's like, well, you see, my dad was an alcoholic. I had no choice. One brother decided he had no choice but to follow the example given, and one had no choice but to reject the example given. And if I apply that story to my life, I saw all the ways of all the things I should not be doing, and everything in front of me was like, well, that turned out terrible. Definitely not doing it that way. And unfortunately, my sister saw everything that was modeled for her, and she thought that was the only way it could be done. And so, although we might not have felt like we had the choice, we both made plenty of choices along the way. And for me, recognizing that that was not the model was probably the first decent choice. And I like to say I only made 3 good choices: Jesus, my wife, and joining the Navy. Like that, those 3 things. Yeah. Got me to where I am, having the faith to understand there's something greater than myself, and have a measure, because there wasn't a lot of good examples, having assumption to measure my life against, and the things that I should be doing, where I should be going. Having a wonderful wife, Megan, if you're watching, I love you, babe. And she grew up on a farm, very steadfast, very loyal, a hard worker, no drama, like cannot stress the importance of having a no drama significant other. It's a big deal. And then joining the Navy allowed to get me away from, I knew more people in social services and the court system and lawyers and judges and police officers than I knew of the rest of the population of the areas I was in, because I dealt with them more often than anyone else.
Yeah.
And so to be able to get out of this situation and get into something like the Navy, where I had the structure, it's easy.
Yeah.
Show up on time with a good attitude, ready to work. get after it.
And you already had pre-training from
Yep.
self-disciplining.
Right.
The library visits, the pursuit. I mean, all of those things just set you up for
did.
success in the
For
mindset.
success, yeah.
You know, I want to tell our guests, you know, I have some really great news. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. And the brain you have today can be changed. It's positioning for the transformation. When we are transformed by the renewing of mind, everything changes. And it did for you.
It did.
And,
Absolutely.
You know, you mentioned the perspective with your sister. You know, there are individuals that will see that this happened to me. It's a to me, the victimization versus the victor. It's gonna be a fight, but I'm gonna find a way to win.
Right.
And you had objectives, you had intentions. I mean, just even rising up from everything that you were going through, you had a zeal to
Yeah.
live. That's what I'm hearing.
Absolutely. I mean, what's the alternative?
Right.
Right. The alternative is destruction.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I haven't flirted with destruction, because I have. For me, up until like 4th grade, I didn't know any better. What we were going through and experiencing, that's just the way life
That was
was.
your normal.
Right? There was I didn't know anything. I didn't have YouTube. I didn't have AI. Hey, is this normal? And they're like, oh, hun, no. Like, that is, you don't have that measure. And so I was in like my 9th school at 4th grade. And they were talking about this summer, like, oh, I moved twice or 3 times and this or whatever. And then some kids are great at being Captain Obvious. No one does that. You're weird. And I'm like, what? I had no idea that other people weren't doing this, right? You just don't know. And so I got really angry.
I imagine.
I started, I think the Naval Academy has a policy. I will not lie, cheat, or steal, nor tolerate ones that do. And man, did I lie, cheat, steal, and I tolerated others that did. And I had no outlet, no way to relieve the stress and this pressure and all this stuff building up. And I don't know, other than the hand of God, I don't know how I avoided alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, because they were available. People in those situations find a way to have that stuff around, to have that relief, that outlet.
Yeah.
And I never turned to those. Very fortunate that didn't pollute my life early, and not everyone can say that.
What did get you through?
I don't know.
Okay.
The only answer I can possibly have is that it wasn't of my own doing. That I was somehow protected through that, through the 2 murder attempts and all the other craziness and the stuff that happened, because it's nothing that I did.
Oh, it's miraculous for sure. Yeah.
There's nothing that I did. I tried to stay away from scummy people. I could really feel in a room full of people. I could feel where I should be and where I shouldn't be. If someone walked in with ill intent,
Yeah.
I knew immediately, was able to sense that.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing to say.
Call discernment. Yeah.
We'll call it
We'll
discernment.
call it discernment.
Bible says it's
The
discernment.
chaplain's gonna
It's
say discernment.
That's what it is. But when you're doing it,
Yeah.
when you're experiencing, especially when you're on, you just don't know.
You don't know.
Yeah, discernment, that's a $10 word. You don't know what that is.
That's a college word.
That's a college word. You don't know what that is. But was able to make my way through. I was able to focus on my studies. And I suppose my escapes were really video games and watching movies. Really love movies because it could draw me in and the rest of the world could fade away and I could be in that movie. Like when Jurassic Park came out, oh man.
Pinball wizard for me.
Pinball Wizard?
Yeah.
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 But you could get pulled into these stories.
Yeah.
And as long as no one was actively being a threat or a pain, you could be in it and the rest of the world and all the problems that existed would fade away for you. And so you would get at least some relief or a reprieve during that. And in 4th grade is when my grandma opened up an arcade in a small town of 120 people.
There was
Terrible business idea.
That was good therapy for you.
Great for me. Terrible business idea. So I got to go play arcade games every day. My uncle taught me how to shoot pool. I'm still a shark. Come on now.
There you go.
And was really able to find a place where I could get away in the situation, which helped immensely. But of course, fourth grade is one of those grades where I moved 3 times and went to
That's a hard year for school.
three different schools. I got glasses for the first time. Oh, 4 eyes and all this stuff. And you've got glasses. Congrats on saying what's in front of you.
Yeah, I'm just hearing rough on all the words that are being said. You got 4 eyes, you're weird. You discover, that's not your identity, but you're hearing this from outside sources.
Nonstop input. And I got to my 3rd school at my 3rd town that year, I was done. I was not interested in being anyone's friend. I didn't have any desire to tell the truth. Whatever wild story I heard on TV or from a friend, that's the story I told, and I always made it a little bit worse, a little bit crazier. And I just wanted people to stay the hell away from me. And so I had a really hard time making friends, obviously. If I'm stiff-arming everybody around me and I'm saying these wild things, of course, that's what's going to happen. But as a kid, you don't know that. You don't know. You just try not to feel the way that you're feeling. And I started being really flippant about a lot of things. And then we stayed at the same school for 3 stinking years. So I had to sit in the problems that I created, which was also unpleasant. And that was the first time I'd really created my own problems for a living.
Yeah. But you turned that around, sounds...
I did.
Well, it doesn't just sound like it. I know that you did.
Yeah. That was also the place where my sister tried to kill me, and the first time we ended up in foster care instead of living with, grandma or dad. Come to find out years later that my mom stopped telling the family about her problems. And so nobody knew we were in foster care.
They just thought you were gone?
We're just in a different town.
Just somewhere else.
Yeah, we're just somewhere else.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is, that's a lot to overcome. Somebody is listening today that, first is blown away.
Yeah.
Because you are the evidence that things can change by exercising the personal power that you have, which is choice.
Right.
I want to speak to you, friend. I'm going to let Travis speak life to you, but I want to remind you that you are one choice away from a radically different life at any point, because this moment contains in it every moment that is yet to come. And the trajectory is up to you. So surround yourself with people that are wiser, that know the direction, that can give you guidance, like Travis, that knows what to avoid. You can learn something from everyone, what to do or what not to do. It is not necessary, nor is it a must that you repeat the mistakes or the intentional detrimental things that have touched your life. It's happened for you. Keep that in mind. It's happened for you, not to you. You have the option to be victorious beyond this point. So Travis, I want you to speak life from this place. You know you belong. You know whose are yours. Your Lord Jesus, your wife, your identity today is not wrapped up in the uniform you wore. You are a man, a business owner, a father, grandfather. Speak to the person that's struggling with, who am I and what do I do now?
Yeah, of course. Thank you. If you're listening to this today, I want you to know that you are under no obligation to be the same person that you were yesterday or even this morning. You can decide that's it, that's enough. I'm going to do things a different way. And you can choose to be more kind. You can choose to be more powerful for yourself. You can choose to speak with confidence and know who you are. You want to know who you are? Look at God says who you are. You are His masterpiece. You can be simultaneously a masterpiece and still under construction. That's perfectly okay. You can set boundaries. No amount of shared DNA gives someone the right to treat you poorly, to treat you terribly. Oh, Uncle Jim's going to come to Thanksgiving. Uncle Jim ain't coming to Thanksgiving. Is he a different person yet? No, he's not invited. He's your uncle. Too bad. Well, Travis, you don't understand. My mom just always always is this person. You do not have to talk to your mom. Is it hard? Yes, I know. I'm there. I very much understand. But just because it's your mom doesn't mean they have the right to interfere in your life, doesn't mean they have the right to talk down to you or any of the other terrible things moms end up doing, because it happens. Oh, but you don't understand my brother or my sister. It doesn't matter what I do or don't understand. No amount of shared DNA gives someone permission to treat you that way. And you can say no now, you can change next week when they change, but if they don't change, that's their problem. Don't let them use family. Don't let them turn that family into an F word to use against you. If they're leveraging that for guilt, that's not what families do, turns out. I had to learn that. I didn't know that. You have the power and the choice and the self-agency to say, that's enough, no thank you, not anymore. I don't care about our history. The history is why I'm giving you the courtesy of telling you no more instead of just cutting you off, because none of that stuff matters. What matters is your own peace and how you take care of yourself, your relationship first with the Lord and then with those closest to you whom you choose to have a relationship with.
Travis, thank you for being our guest today. I can't even imagine how many people's lives you've touched with your message. And I want to speak to you, listener. History is his story. The past has a place, and the present is not it. In the present is when you exercise your power to choose what the future will look like. He has a plan for you. It's a good plan. It's a plan to prosper you. It's not to harm you. Though things that have been harmful may have touched your life, that doesn't define you. It doesn't secure whose you are. You have the personal power of choice to step into what is pain has purpose. Remember, you're significant. You're here on purpose with a purpose. Go serve a purpose of greater good than what you might be sitting in right now. I'm Veronica Seitz, and this is The Verses of Life.
This has been The Verses of Life, where warriors and professionals live life on purpose, silence doubt, and lead with action. Stay strong, stay grounded, and remember, growth through pain reveals a greater purpose. Stay. The world needs you.